Yo, what's up everybody, Aiden here. In this video I'm going to show you how I made $400 trading stocks on two different tickers. The tickers were BENF and I don't know what I traded. WISA, W-I-S-A. Alright, so let's jump right into it. So the first one I would like to show you is BENF. This was actually my second trade of the day, but I will start with it. So I am still watching this because there is another potential trade on this for me, and I'll explain to you what that is momentarily. So BENF, if we start with the daily chart, we can see that it's capable of big moves. Yeah, so as soon as this ticker came up on my scan, I was like, ooh, let's see what's going on. Now, looking at the daily chart, it does have resistance on previous days, so that is definitely something I want to take into consideration. The reason why I still thought there might be a trade in this for me was because today's volume was considerably higher than previous days. If today's volume was lower than its previous runs, it wouldn't have been something that interested me at all. So if we jump to the intraday, the minute chart, so obviously big move, two big moves pre-market. Didn't get involved with any of this, didn't get involved at the market open. Saw this stuff candle, kept it on watch. It's got a low of day here, kind of holds a lower high, higher low, holds a higher low here. And it became sort of interested after this little bounce that didn't quite reach VWAP. So this little pullback here to this low, I started in here thinking that this might hold. I didn't really like how it was sizing up, didn't really like the action, but I started in nevertheless. When it had this little push and then stuff, this tiny little candle, that to me was kind of an indication this has probably got another leg down fair, so I sold my position for even. I know that's a very micro thing to be looking at, and I can get shaken out with things like that, and sometimes I do. But yeah, in this instance, it did keep me safe from this little flush here. So this little pullback here broke low of day, but only just. So this is something that is still of interest to me at this point. During this action here, what I'm looking for now is, can it have a push back to these highs and reclaim these lows here? That's what I'm looking for. I want to get in around 225, or if it can hold 227, the 227 level, I'm interested. And that's exactly what it did. It had this push here, and then I started in here, 229 my entry was. I was going to risk 225. Okay, and then again, it's just a matter of patience. How patient can I be in order to let the trade work out? Turns out not very. So I sold half of my position here, which I did on the WISA trade as well, which is way too much. I need to give the trade more time to work. See, in my mind, it's kind of scared trading. Become afraid that the trade's going to go against me and I'm going to lose what I'm currently up. So that is a psychological thing that I am currently addressing, and my understanding from listening to primarily Roland is that sort of selling quick mentality comes from buying higher day breaks and stuff like that, which I kind of do see, and like I say, it is something that I'm trying to address. So yeah, like I say, sold half my position here and then kind of just sold it all the way up. Best sale was 295, which is cool, but I'd like to be getting off sort of half or three quarters of my position here. Really, I was looking at these levels for a price target, but yeah, like I say, selling too much too soon. If this stock comes back down to this level, I'm going to take a shot on it, depending on how it gets here in the action, you know, when it is here. But there's a good chance I'll take a little shot on this, and the reason for that is what we're seeing at the minute. This is very, very similar to WISA. So WISA had this gap and crap reversal, Roland style, this push, big retracement, and then a second leg up, and we're seeing that quite a lot from stocks at the moment. So yeah, for that reason, I am looking to see it retrace and then hopefully have another leg up. I'm not entirely sure what I'm going to risk off at the moment, so I'll judge the action when it gets down here and I'll size in accordingly. So that was the second trade I took. I made like I don't know, like $240 on that or something like that. Not as much as I should have, given that my entry was great and the range that the stock offered, but nevertheless it's a win. The next one I traded, did I trade WISA again? Yeah, I did. Yeah, I took WISA for a possible third day surge. So big day one. If you go back to the video titled how I made $1,000 or something, I cover how I traded this in that video, very similar to how I traded today. And then obviously first red day, and today I was looking for a possible third day surge. So now third day surge back in July was hot. July, was it July? Yeah, in July it was hot. So if this was July, I would have been sizing in for this, but it's not. The setup is still working, but not as frequently, so had to be a little bit more cautious. So today pre-market I saw it break past this low, so I want to risk off this low. So when it broke this low and then it reclaimed, I took a position, small position, because it was quite near the market open, and I don't like to hold positions into the market open because the stock often has a volatile move and I can sort of get shaken out, or yeah, it's not ideal for me. But I took a small position, and then when the market opened, it had this quick pull and it held this low. This low is 238. It held 240. I hope I'm not going too quickly for people. So I sized in here, took decent size on it, hoping for sort of to sell into this level, this level, this level. But as it happened, it didn't really have the juice. I did take off kind of, well, I sold a bit soon, but it kind of worked in my favor in this instance. I think it's good to take off some because it de-risks and it should buy you more patience. So I'm okay with that, but I take off a bit too much too soon. So I took off more or less half my position. Then when it had this flush and it held lower day, it was too big of a pullback, too harsh for me, really. Even though it did hold, I just sold the rest into a bounce for like $130 gain, roughly, I think. I am currently 375 up on the day. I'm pretty pleased with how I traded both of those stocks. Like I say, there is a potential another entry on this one if it gets down here-ish. But like I say, I'll check the action when it gets to here and act accordingly. Okay, thank you. A lot of information there quite quickly, but I hope it was cool. All right, cheers.